Hello friends, in the previous session what we have seen is that when you connect a loop of wire with a slip ring and you connect it to DC, the loop of wire starts rotating, but however due to torque reversal it comes back to its original position. In the screen you can see I have summarized it in a simple drawing here. So basically what happens is that you start with if this is the loop of wire, this is your conductor AB, this is your conductor CD. So AB experiences a downward force, so it comes like this, and CD experiences the upward force, it comes like this. It comes to this position where AB is under the influence of the south pole, field is in the same direction, current is in the same direction. Why? Because it is connected to the slip ring, and through the slip ring always AB is connected to the positive terminal as per the previous video. So the current is in the same direction. So here, because it is the same direction, it again experiences a downward force and it comes back to its original position. Again it experiences downward force, new position, old position. So what happens is that the loop is not able to complete its rotation, but it is experiencing something which is called a torque reversal. In this particular session, let us see what happens when you connect the commutator. Usually in DC generators, people, when we explain DC generator, we told that it actually converts the alternating current inside the winding into a direct supply, direct voltage. So let us what role does the commutator play in a DC motor? Okay, it's very interesting. So let's start with a simple loop of wire here. So this is my simple loop of wire A, B, C, D, and look at this. Brush B1 and B2 are connected to commutator C1 and C2. Okay, so this entire coil will rotate, and along with that the commutator will rotate. Brush B1 and B2 are however fixed in space. Okay, C1 and C2 will rotate with the coil AB CD. Alright, so let us see how the current is going to flow. So clearly, let me put it in different color. The current starts like this, because current moves from positive to negative. It enters here like this. Through AB it goes like this, BD, DC, and it comes back to brush B2, and then it completes its path. Alright, now let us see what happens here. Now the current inside the AB is into the paper, right? It is into the paper, and the field is from north to south pole, which is looking like this. Okay, so the field here, it is like this. Let us draw it in two dimensions. So this is AB and this is my conductor CD. Alright, so here the current is inward like this and the field is like this. So I told you the force is direction of force is the direction of I crossed with B. Okay, so direction of I cross B, if I told you last lecture how to calculate that, so here clearly it will be in the downward direction. The direction of force will be direction of I cross B, and it will be in the downward direction. And in CD the current is coming towards us, field is in this direction, and therefore the force will be in the upward direction. You just do I cross B and see, you will get it. So if you want, I will just show it here. So this is the current direction. So force will be in this particular axis, perpendicular to both I and B. So you take I and cross it with B, you will get a clockwise rotation. A clockwise rotation in this plane is the downward direction. So it is downwards like this. The force is downwards. Here this is I, this is B, and the force will be in the upward direction. So what happens is that the coil starts rotating like this. The coil starts rotating like this. Now let us see what happens when the conductor AB comes to the south pole and CD comes to the north pole. So I have wantedly not put the commutator names here. So C1 starts initially by connecting with B1, but after 180 degrees C1 is connected to B2, which is actually the negative terminal, and C2 comes here. Now let us see what is the current direction. So the current is going to flow like this, like this, like this, like this. It's going to come like this, and it's going to enter the negative terminal. Now let us see what is the force conditions here. So this is CD and this is inward current, and AB experiences an outward current. You can clearly see initially AB was experiencing the inward current, and now AB is experiencing the outward current. So clearly the force acting on AB, the field is in this direction, here also the field is in this direction. The force experienced on AB will change now. Initially it was in the downward direction. When it comes under the south pole, now it's force in the upward direction. Similarly, initially CD was having the outward current and the force was in the upward direction. Now CD is having the inward current and the force will be in the downward direction. So basically what has happened here is that if this is the coil, this was AB and this was CD, the conductor comes with a downward force, and when it comes under the influence of the south pole now, it experiences an upward force. So it continues its rotation like this. And when it comes here, again the downward force, and when it comes here, again the upward force. So what did the commutator do here actually? Basically what the commutator has done, it has reversed the current direction in the conductors. The commutator reverse the current directions. So clearly here you can see AB was having an inward current. Now here AB is having an outward current. CD is having an inward current initially, and CD is having an CD is having an outward current initially, and CD is having an inward current after the 180-degree rotation. So basically what the commutator has done, inside the winding, inside the turn, it has converted the applied DC into an alternating current. Alright. So basically if you measure the voltage across these two terminals, you will be getting an alternate voltage. So that is the beauty of the commutator. In DC generator, it picks up the alternating current and alternating voltage, and it converts it into DC. In motor case, it picks up the DC and inside the coil, it converts it into alternating current. Basically, it is just a mechanical arrangement. There is no electronics involved. So this is how the torque reversal is avoided by using a commutator. So many people, when they somebody asks them to tell the working of the DC motor, usually they tell that is the Lorentz force. Whenever a conductor is kept in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. But then that is not how a DC motor works. The DC motor needs a continuous rotation. If simply you are going to apply voltage to a coil of wire, you saw that the torque reversal will happen. The entire rotation is not going to get completed. So in order to get this, you use the commutator. Therefore the correct statement would be the DC motor works, and the concept is the Lorentz force, but along with the commutator, which helps to convert that direct voltage into an alternating voltage inside the winding. An important conclusion here is that irrespective of the machine being a motor or a generator, the winding always has an alternating voltage. Inside the winding, you have always alternating voltage, whether it's a DC generator or it's a DC motor. So I hope you have liked this particular session. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.